Partynextdoor isn't just an artist, he's a mood. His sound lives in the late hours, where emotion is unfiltered, melodies feel personal, and every note sounds like it was recorded at 2 a.m. It's dark, it's minimal, and it's melodic. Space, tension, and feeling come first. In this video, I'm breaking down how to create melodies and vibes inspired by Partynextdoor. From the emotion-driven chords, to the subtle movement, to the details that make modern R&B feel intimate instead of overproduced. Let's get into it. What's good, y'all? In today's video, we're gonna be making a Partynextdoor melody, and it's very simple. I ain't do too much for this one, so let's just jump into it. Now, the first thing I want to go over is the chord progression, and this is what it sounds like. It's really two chords for real necessarily, but what I have on the pad is from Nexus, and the name of the pad is I can't see that. BPT growing pad. I'm blind, y'all. Not too much. But what I have on the pad is a Valhalla vintage verb, a parametric EQ to cut out the highs. Without it, it sounds like this. And I don't like that. And fruity flanges to make it sound more modular. Without it, it sounds like this. It sounds like a regular pad, but I wanted to have that module type aspect, if that's how you phrase it. Next is a diva, and it's another pad, and this pad in particular is deep and drenched. And all I have on here is a Valhalla vintage verb. The pad sounds like this. Now, with these melodies, you got to make them very ambient. And by ambient, I don't mean stuff like snowfall, but I mean things that are of character. Like it has that spacey aspect to the point where it just sets the late night groove, right? When you make things ambient, it sets the late night groove, and you can imagine yourself being in a car or just riding about and just listening to it. The next thing I have is this bass, and it's a one shot from my kit, but it's just a regular growler type bass. And all I have on here is a fruity chorus with a fat clean preset. Next is this mallet with a delay on it, and what I have on here, let me play it first. And what I have on here is a Valhalla delay, a chorus June 6, a delay eternal, just put it on 1/4 beat, and a Valhalla room. And it's also a one shot. Next is this thing I did. And I made it a very characteristic sound. And at first it was this regular plug. Let me turn off the effects. At first it was this regular plug. And then that's when I added these effects. But the first effect I added was a Valhalla delay. With it, it sounds like this. And then that's when I went ahead and I added a Valhalla vintage verb to give some space. And then I added a fruity flangus to give it some character. Yeah, for this sound in particular, you hear what the fruity flangus does. It just modules the sound. And then I turned it into a pedal type sound by using Cymatic Solution, the Flourish preset. And I put the mix at all the way to 100 so that the character of the notes that I played do not play out all the way. By that, this is what the mix does. If I put it down a little bit, you can hear it, right? And it just does it a little bit. But if I put it all the way, it won't play the notes at all. Yep. And I just did that to fill in some empty spaces. And that's why it's also low as well, because I didn't want it to be main focus. Next is another pad. And for this one, all I have on here is a Valhalla vintage verb. And then here comes what carries the whole element to it, and that is the vocals. And it's just some regular splice vocals that I had chopped up. And for the second section, I pitched it up a whole octave. And I pitched things up in the B section is because it shows that the emotion is picking up and the drums are about to come in, right? And it sounds good leading up to it. Now, what I have on the first vocal, because I mixed both of them differently, what I have on the first vocal is a fruity filter, a Valhalla vintage verb, a pancake, a fruity flangus, and I just mess with the mix inside of the FL mixer track, a parametric EQ, another EQ, that's a low cut. The first one was a high cut. And then a Valhalla delay. And with this delay, I lowered the mix in the FL Studio mixer track. Now for the second vocal, I have a parametric EQ, another high cut, a vintage chorus, mess with the mix inside the mixer track, a Valhalla vintage verb, mess with the mix inside the mixer track as well. So that when I mix with the mix in the mixer track, I do that so that the effect is not too prominent or don't carry over too heavy. It's not too strong. A fruity delay too. Pan man to pan it left to right. And a fruity filter so that I can use the cutoff to cut off some of the frequencies, which can make it sound a little bit boxy to some degree. But depending on how you play with this, it can sound very good as well. And with fruity filter, it is very underrated. They even got their own stock Partynextdoor preset. And I be using that every now and then. It's very fire. Fruity filter is definitely an underrated plugin. But yeah, that's all when it comes to a melody. And then next are these textures. This is the first one that I liked using. This is how it sounds. And then that's when I just lowered it. It's not routed to anything. And with these melodies, the textures carry heavy. And you can use that to keep them simple, but add different elements that make it sound different. But yeah, that's all for the melody. I hope you guys enjoyed. And thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys Wednesday. I love and I appreciate y'all. Deuces.